ask the same question about what is sustainability and what does it mean to you, to Norris McDonald.
Thank you. Let's give another hand to Cheryl. How many people here have asthma? Raise your hand. You have your inhalers with you? Raise your hand. How many people have been to the emergency room for asthma? How many people have been hospitalized for asthma? How many people have been intubated in ICU, intensive care unit, with asthma? Okay, I just wanted to put that in perspective. I've been intubated twice, once in 1991 for 4 days and again in 1996 for 4 days. I take asthma very seriously. I take air pollution extremely seriously. I'm founder and president of the African American Environmental Association. We founded the association in 1985. The name speaks for itself, African American Environmental Association. That distracts some people. But I tell them they're not distracted by the National Wildlife Federation. The National Wildlife Federation works on energy policy. We work on policies across the board, environmental, energy, and we are about practical solutions. We're not NIMBY bananas, not in my backyard, build absolutely nothing anywhere near anything. I don't believe the black community can do that. So that is what we do. We try to come up with practical solutions to our problems. Now, we're based here in Washington, D.C., and we've been based here for some time, and we've operated a number of programs, and that's what I'm going to go over quickly with you to give you some idea of what we do and what could be available to you in the future. I started the environmental movement in 1979. At that time, there were no black environmental professionals based in Washington, D.C. environmental movement. That is why I formed the African American Environmental Association, because many people have realized now that many of the most serious issues, environmental issues, are in the African American community. A disproportionate number of pollution sites are in the African American community. Yet I realized from working with all of the environmental groups based in Washington, D.C., that the least amount of resources were being targeted to our community. And they still are. It hasn't changed much since then. Also, unfortunately, the Washington, D.C. based environmental groups do not have that many black employees. And so we have to come in and make up for that. Now, when I say practical solutions, we tried to solve that problem. We have implemented minority internship programs where we have placed minority students with all of the national mainstream environmental groups here in Washington, D.C. Let me give you a little bit of background about what we do and how we've tried to solve problems quickly, and hopefully you'll have some questions for us later. Basically, we've gone from toilets to nuclear power plants. We were doing the green jobs, I guess, 20 years ago. We were doing weatherization programs, putting in windows and doors, and retrofitting toilets, and fixing leaks because a massive amount of energy is used in leaks. We took our interns, for instance, to the drinking water plant here in Washington, D.C., took them on tours of utility power plants, and it opened their eyes once they saw how the water was produced. Took them to the wastewater treatment plant. Then when we took them into the homes to fix leaks and showed them how the toilet leaking 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, uses a lot of energy because when it goes to the sewage treatment plant is the largest user of electricity in every city in the United States. And that's the pumps and motors to separate out the materials, which I won't go too much into technically. So basically, we also conducted boat tours. We joined the first black boat club. It's here in Washington, D.C., called Seafarers Yacht Club, right down on the Anacostia River. Mary McLeod Bethune helped it become established when some blacks wanted to boat in the 50s because voting was segregated. I thought they were crazy to be out there boating on the Potomac and Anacostia in the 50s, but they did. So boat tours, creek walks, we've done all of these things. So consider these in your career. I would say